screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if this parameter is not set to this value, we have to give the value. We don't need to give the path. Create table space name, data file. Okay, people will think like, can I give entire path? Okay, let's try to add all the table space xyz data, add data file. So I want to give some name instead of Oracle managed fields. Is it possible or not? So we can give it. That's not an issue. Like this way also we can add, but it's not recommended. Okay, always Oracle is asking us to use OMF concept for ASM. Okay, ASM inbuilt with OMF concept. So we have to follow accordingly as per Oracle recommendation. Any questions? Is it clear or not?
Sir, it is clear, but Oracle will RAC will use ASM concept, right? Is it need to configure explicitly ASM?
Explicitly means
It will come by default ASM setup, or we need to set up.
we need to do the setup.
We need to do. Okay.
Yeah. So we are going to do that setup. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Because most of them are not ready with the laptops, right? So that's why I am not starting. Okay.
Okay, sir.
If you are not ready, why do you need to start the installation? Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, to start and stop the scan listeners, local listeners also, we have to use the commands. srvctl stop listener. It will take care of stopping local listeners. Okay, based on the warner, we have to stop. If you check ps-ef pipe rep tns. Okay, here one scan listener is up and running. So if you go and check here also local listener is down. Okay, from first node we are stopping scan listeners for all the nodes. Let me try to start. Okay, we have local listener is up and running. So can we stop specific to the node? Let's try to okay. So if you give -and RAC1 means it will stop only the listener which is related to the first node. If you go and check in the second node, so it will show. Okay, listener is up and running on the second node. We stopped only on the first node. We can start only this listener. Now you can check the command. Okay, this is the way to control the local listener. So to stop the scan listener, srvctl stop scan underscore listener. So now we can check the scan listener is down. If you want to start, you can start scan listener. If you want to check the properties of scan listener, we can check by using srvctl config scan underscore listener. Here you can clearly see scan listener name is this. Okay, scan listener port number is this. Okay, it is same. Okay, there are two networks, network 1 and network 2. Network 1 is related to public IPs, VIPs and scan IPs. Network 2 is related to private IP. Okay, it is showing under network 1. If you want to check the config of this one, you can clearly see it's a database listener. Okay, so port number is 1521. Listener is individually enabled on ports. The listener name is listener. Okay, who is the owner of this? Owner of this is Oracle. Here it is not showing anything, right? Okay, mostly if it is not showing anything means, so it will be taken care by root. Okay, if you want to check the status LSNRCTL, so we can check from the root user. If you want to check the status of this listener, we can check from Oracle user. But this SRVCTL start and stop can be done from the Oracle user. Okay, so we have to run one command as a root user. Okay, this is the very important commands. Okay, so this command will tell us what are the services are up and running on all the nodes. Okay, services are nothing but listener is a service, database is a service. Okay, so ASM is a service. So like that way we have different services. Okay, whatever the things we know, we are going to focus on those. Okay, ASM disk group is a concept that is also a service. Here you can clearly see scan IP is a service. Okay, we have to check whether it is up and running or not. You can see here online is the target state. Okay, it is reached or not. Okay, it is showing online. You can clearly see. So target, okay, it should be in this position, online position. Okay, what is the current position? It will tell. State is nothing but what is the current position. Okay, so listener target is online. State current state is online. Okay, this listener is up and running on track 1 and track 2. Okay, like that way you can go with same ASM listener which we see in this one. Okay, on 2 nodes it is running. Scan listener is running on RAC 2. Okay, earlier it was running on RAC 1. You can clearly see. Okay, after stopping and starting, okay, let's try to connect and check. So now the scan listener is jumped to the second node. Earlier scan listener was running on the first node. Okay, let's try to connect. The listener scan 1 is running on only node 2. Okay, BS prod is a database, it is showing offline. Our database MS prod is showing online. Okay, first node RAC 1 online, the second node RAC 2 online. Okay, this is the VIP of the first node. This is the VIP of the second node. This is the VIP of the scan IP of the cluster. Okay. This scan IP is running on second. Okay. This talks about IPs. This talks about listener. You can directly same. If the IP is running on so and so node, means indirectly the listener also will be running on the so and so node. Okay. So we are moving to the parameter file management in RAC. Okay. How we have parameter file management in RAC? How to set the parameters in RAC? Okay. So we have two instances as two SGS. Okay. Two instances as separate parameter file. Let's try to see. Okay. Let me try to create a P file like this way. We'll see what is inside that. Here you can see instance 1 dot undo table space is equal to undo tbs1. Instance 2 dot undo table space is equals to undo tbs2. Okay, instance 1 dot instance number is equal to 1. Instance 2 dot instance number is equal to 2. Okay, instance 1 thread is equal to 1. Instance 2 thread is equal to 2. Okay, these are all the local parameter for each instance. Okay. Okay, if the parameter is local to the specific node, then we have to give that specific instance dot that parameter name is equals to value. Okay, if the parameter is global to all the nodes, let's take an example, log archive test, it's a global. Okay, here you don't need to specify anything. You don't need to specify anything like instance 1 dot or instance 2 dot, you don't need to specify. Log archive format also you don't need to specify. Okay, DB name is common, right, for both. Control file is common for both. Okay, so we have two undo table spaces. Okay, if we have two instances, we have two undo table spaces. Okay, if we have three instances, we will have three undo table spaces. If we have 10 instances, we will have 10 undo table spaces. If we have two instances, two threads. If we have 10 instances, 10 threads. Okay, so if we have 10 instances, we have 10 instance numbers. Okay, so instance 1 dot instance number, instance 2 dot instance number, instance 3 dot instance number, like that way we will get 10 instance numbers, 1 to 10. Okay, like that way the RAC configuration will be in this. We have a common parameters. Okay, DB name is the common parameter, control file is the common parameter, compatible is the common parameter. Okay, so SGA target we can put it common or local. Okay, instance 1 memory is 10 GB SGA, instance 2 memory is 5 GB also possible. But as per Oracle recommendation, we set, suppose instance 1 has memory 800 MB, it is showing instance 2 also we are setting 800 MB. We don't set more than that. Okay, we have common parameters, we have local parameters. Okay, local parameters has to be specified with instance name dot that particular parameter name is equals to parameter value.
సార్
చెప్పు.
ఇప్పుడు ర్యాక్ 1 లో పారామీటర్ ఫైల్ మనం చూసాం కదా. సో ఇప్పుడు ర్యాక్ 1 లో పారామీటర్ ఫైల్ లో మనం ఇన్స్టెన్స్ 1 కి సంబంధించిన ఇన్స్టెన్స్ 2 కి సంబంధించిన పారామీటర్స్ డిఫైన్ చేసాము. ఇప్పుడు మనకి పారామీటర్ ఫైల్ ర్యాక్ 1 లో ఉంది, ర్యాక్ 2 లో కూడా ఉండాలా లేదా అవసరం లేదా?
Parameter file is common for all the instances.
For all, so అన్ని చోట్ల క్రియేట్ చేయాల్సిందే.
No need to create. Okay.
No need to create.
We create the parameter file in the ASM disk group. Okay, that ASM disk group is accessible to all the nodes, all the instances. If we create in one instance, other instance can able to edit,
Okay.
able to see. Okay, so we created P file locally in one node, but our SP file is located in globally. Okay, it can be shared across all the instances because we have shared storage is called ASM. Okay, under ASM disk group we kept the parameter file. Okay, so here srvctl config database -d ms pro. So you can clearly see SP file is located here. It's not like so stored in the DBS location. Okay, in RAC, coming to the RAC, your SP file going to be stored in the ASM disk group. Okay, ASM disk group is shareable across all the instances. So we can read from any instance and we can write from any instance. Okay, it's not like our core side, it will be stored in the DBS location. Whenever you connect to the SQL Plus and start up the database, it will pick from the DBS location, right? But coming to the RAC, it won't take like that way. Okay, so whatever the things are configured in the SRVCTL, whatever the properties are configured in the SRVCTL, based on the properties, so your database instance will come up. Okay, it will check what is inside SRVCTL. If you remove SRVCTL configuration, suppose SRVCTL remove database -d ms plot, then what will happen is it will detect from the DBS location. Okay, if there is no SRVCTL registration for a specific database, it will try to detect from the DBS location. Okay, if there is a SRVCTL configuration established already for a specific DB, it will pick from the SRVCTL, means CRSCTL status resource -d, right? That command is given the details, right? It will go and check there. Okay, clear? Any questions?
No, sir. A little bit confusion. So I need to view this video again.
Those things you will understand after few days. Okay.
Okay,
So we haven't done the RAC setup. Okay. After setup is done, what are the questions we have? Those will be automatically cleared. Okay. So just for understanding, I am teaching all these things. So after installing RAC, okay, you are going to see the videos again. Then you will get 100% clarity.
Okay.
The
So
RAC
all
is
videos are available at any time, right?
all videos
Are available, right? At any time.
at any time available.
Okay, thank you, sir.
How to change the dynamic parameter in RAC? The same parameters which we are taking. Show parameter shared underscore pool underscore size. If you want to set this parameter in RAC, the way to set alter system set shared underscore pool underscore size is equal to 60M.
Scope is equal to SP file.
We don't need to give scope is equal to SP file. If you give like this way, we'll see. Will it set to all the instances or only specific instance? Okay, we verified here in the first instance, it is showing the value 60M. So connect to the second node, setup env. Show parameter shared pool. Here also it is setting up. Okay, my concern is I don't want to change the value in second instance. I want to change the value only in the first instance. How to do that? Okay, I want to set this parameter to ATM in the first node, first instance. Okay, so I don't want to change anything in the second instance. How to do that? Okay, here you have to give SID is equals to MS prod 1. If you give like this way, your parameter is going to set for a specific instance. Here you can see ATM, exit, connect to the second node, run the environmental variables, MS prod 2, connect to the SQL plus, show parameter, share. Here it is showing 60. Okay. If you don't give anything by default, it picks SID is equals to star. Star means all the instances. Okay. Star means all the instances. Means like how you have to set alter system set ATM is equals to SID is equals to star. If you give like this way, it will set up. If you don't give this value also by default, it is taking all the instances. Okay, earlier version, it only takes for specific instance. Okay, maybe from 19C onwards, so it got updated. Okay, so now it is updated. You can check anyway in the first node, it is the same. Show parameters, shared pool, size. So ATM. So what about like static parameters? How to change the static parameters in RAC? Okay, let's take a parameter like show parameter db underscore files. Okay, it is showing 200. You just need to do alter system set db files is equal to 500M. Scope is equal to sp file. Okay, we'll see what will happens. So scope is equal to sp file. 500M. Yeah, scope is equal to sp file. Will it work out or not? We'll see. Yeah. So it's worked out, but the value is not changed, right? To change the value, so what we have to do for static parameters?
Need to shut down and start up the services.
A service ETL stop database -d ms prod. Okay, it's set to all the instances or only specific instance. Can you guess?
I think all.
For all instances.
For all.
Do you need to restart all the instances, or do you need to restart only one instance for setting up static parameters?
Also.
For all, sir.
All the instances.
All.
Okay, in the first instance, second instance, it is showing this. Go to first, then check. Okay, static dynamic parameters concept is done. First thing you have to do while learning RAC, okay, you have to think about differences. If you know the difference between core and RAC, okay, you will get the clarity. Suppose let's take an example, static and dynamic parameters. Compare with the core, what we are doing in RAC additionally. Okay, startup and shutdown, compare with core, how we are doing in RAC. Okay, in interviews, people will ask you like how to stop the listener in RAC. If you tell LSN or CTL stop, means your answer is wrong. Okay, so you have to tell like SRV CTL stop listener. So that is what you have to tell. How to check all the services in RAC. Okay, so by using CRS CTL status resource -T. Okay, how to check the cluster health check. CRS CTL check cluster -all or CRS CTL check CRS for all the nodes. Okay, how to stop and start CRS CTL, stop CRS, CRS CTL, start CRS. So these are all the things you have to understand. In interviews, people will focus on SRV CTL and CRS CTL commands. Okay, SRV CTL is for managing all the services, okay, related to database, listener, ASM disk group, ASM instance, that type of services we have. But coming to the CRS CTL, CTL will be for managing cluster related services. Okay, so cluster services, if you want to stop and start cluster services, we are going to use CRS CTL. Okay, if you want to stop and start database services, so we have to use this one. So we'll discuss further tomorrow.
Sir, tomorrow class is there.
Tomorrow no class, Monday. Okay, Monday same time.
Okay, sir.
Thank you everyone. Good day.
Thank you, sir. Happy weekend. Bye.